What's up? Today I'll be showing you how to use GPT-3 with StatMuse to get better analytics for NBA. So what is StatMuse? It's a statistical recording website for NBA, NHL, NFL, Major League Sports. It uses natural language processing to, conversational questions with it to get certain stats. I can ask something like, how many points does Luka have this season? He scored 1666 points this season over 50 games. He's averaging 33.3 points per game. Pretty basic statistics. But if we want to know maybe some complex level analytics, a few weeks ago, Kyrie Irving was traded to the Dallas Mavericks, the team Luka plays for. And I'm curious to know what impacts did Kyrie have on Luka's stats. So if we can ask StatMuse that, how has Kyrie impacted Luka's stats? Unfortunately, StatMuse is not good enough to really get this perfect. It's just going to show us Kyrie's stats over his last 44 games where he played with two different teams. Now, this is not exactly what we're looking for. So I recently discovered a project from Geoffrey Litt. He's an MIT CS student who kind of did this as a weekend project using GPT-3 with Langchain and StatMuse to frame your own questions and see if it can break those questions into little pieces and get an answer from there. So a question, for example, like this: how many points are the Celtics allowing on defense per game this season compared to last season? If you put a question like this into StatMuse, it's not complex enough to answer these and will give us no results. But with an agent executor using LangChain and GPT-3, let's see if it can kind of break up this question into pieces. So break it up into number one, looking at Celtics allowed per game this season, and then looking at Celtics allowed per game last season, and calculate that percentage. So Celtics are allowing 7.4 more points per game this season compared to last season. An interesting stat, sure, you could go find this out and do the math yourself. Instead of that taking 10, 20 minutes, if you're able to just ask GPT, maybe soon even with voice recognition and add that in, you're getting these results in, seconds and able to do quick data analytics for Major League Sports. So how does this work? This uses OpenAI's API and SERP API, the Google Search API as well. So sign up for accounts for both and grab your API key, and then you throw it in your code. So we pulled up the code here. Yeah, so we want to frame a question. I'm very curious, how has the Kyrie trade impacted Luka's stats? So we're using Beautiful Soup 4, using LangChain OpenAI. We're going to tell it what StatMuse is so it can kind of understand what it needs to do, what to ask. And it's just using StatMuse's URL that ends in a query that loads the results. So we're going to feed it. Kyrie Irving was traded to the Dallas Mavericks on this date. This was 16 days ago. I need to know, Luka's stats from before this date, this season, to his stats after this date, this season. So this is just some basic prompt engineering from the get-go. The end goal would be how short, how concise can we make this prompt? If we can get this, to exactly, how has Kyrie impacted Luka's performance? That is the end goal here. But we're going to start from here and then see, how far we can fine tune it. So when we click run on this, it's just going to run in our, and I had just run it before, so it's shown there, but it's just going to run in our terminal here. And it's pulled up here. So first it's going to pull Luka Doncic's stats before February 6th during this season, and that's 33.4 points, 8.9 rebounds, 8.2 assists. Then it's going to pull Luka's stats after February 6th from StatMuse during the regular season, 32.3. So this is our answer here. We can tell that since Kyrie has been added to the Mavs, Luka is averaging 1.1 points less, 0.6 rebounds less, and 1.5 assists. So So whether it's for betting or any other analysis, you can kind of, quickly see these results, which maybe, if we test this exact prompt with StatMuse, doesn't really get it ourselves. So it's just a quick little project. Full credits to Geoffrey Litt to exploring this and making this public to tinker with. All for the prompt engineering here. So the more of this can be fine-tuned, the better it may be.